Welcome.
Welcome to the Everythink podcast. In this episode, I'm reviewing the third and final story in the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven. And the third and final story is titled The Vanishing Point. If you want to check out my two previous reviews for the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven, they are in the Second Doctor Adventures playlist, which I think will be shown at the beginning and end of this episode. So go and check them out. But back to this episode, as I said, I'll be reviewing the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven, the third and final story titled The Vanishing Point. So before I get to my review of The Vanishing Point, here's the cast list, which is the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven cast list anyway, because it doesn't change and they don't go, these are the people going to be in each episode. So we have Michael Troughton as the Doctor, Fraser Hines as Jamie McCrimmon, Wendy Padbury as Zoe Herriot, Nicholas Bolton as a Time Lord, Nicholas Briggs as Celestian and Moral Novice, Susan Harrison as Margaret and Chinzok Commander, Jacqueline King as Anuk, Mickey Knighton as Paul, Emma Noakes as Raven, Callum Pardo as Aether, and Gary Turner as Chinzuk Pack Leader, Galactic Pride PA, and Sauron's Flight Controller. The Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven, The Vanishing Point was written by Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs and directed by Nicholas Briggs. Here's the synopsis. Following the threads of conspiracy twisting throughout all of time and space, the Doctor and his companions head to the Vanishing Point, a mythical place said to exist somewhere between science and magic, which is a journey from which they may never return. The Vanishing Point was released alongside the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven on the 9th of July 2024. My opinion on The Vanishing Point is this: I loved hearing the Doctor, Jamie and Zoe have an adventure all together again. I like the scenes between the Doctor and Raven, and I enjoyed the behind the scenes interviews. Without further ado, here's my review for the Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven, The Vanishing Point. We start off with the Part 1 title sequence. Jamie, the Doctor and Zoe work out that time has frozen. Raven comes to terms with the Doctor's refusal to complete any more missions set by her. Raven's computer suffers from a power cut. Raven attempts to reboot it. The Doctor, Jamie and Zoe attempt to discover the cause of time freezing. The location where Zoe, the Doctor and Jamie is on fire. The Doctor says that the frozen time is caused by multiple timelines fighting to become the permanent timeline. Jamie and Zoe follow instructions given to them by a kipper. The Doctor compares frozen time to a shard of ice. Jamie compares the kipper to a knife. The Doctor theorises why the kipper is targeting Zoe and Jamie. Jamie and Zoe warn the Doctor of having physical contact with the kipper. The Doctor has successfully made the kipper vanish into thin air. The Doctor calls out for Raven. Raven is still trying to reboot her computer. Raven thinks she has seen someone. Jamie comments on Raven not responding to the Doctor's transmission. The Doctor, Jamie and Zoe reunite with the TARDIS. They all enter the TARDIS. The TARDIS dematerializes. The TARDIS isn't making its usual dematerializing noises. Jamie, Zoe and the Doctor notice this. Anak delivers some orders. Aether apologises to Anak. Aether informs Anak of the sense of danger they felt. Anak references this episode's title. The Doctor asks Zoe to do something. Jamie mentions the missions he and the Doctor have had to complete set by Raven. Jamie recaps the Doctor's actions when it comes to his encounters with Raven. Zoe reminds the Doctor of the TARDIS being unfunctional. The Doctor raises his voice and attacks the TARDIS. The Doctor leaves the console room to give himself some space to think by himself. Raven introduces herself to a new colleague. Someone is laughing at Raven's annoyance for the Doctor choosing to no longer do missions that she sets. Raven re-encounters the Kippers. Aether shows Anik some of his work that startles him. Anik also doesn't understand the results that Aether has recorded. Raven yells at someone. Celestian knows Celestian knows who the Doctor and Raven are. Raven attempts to communicate with Celestian. Raven finds a time ring. Anik attempts to reassure Aether. Jamie and Zoe attempt to find the Doctor within the TARDIS. Jamie compliments Zoe's superior intelligence. Zoe and Jamie discover the TARDIS library. The Doctor reunites with Zoe and Jamie. Raven continues to speak with Celestian. Raven references the title of the first story in the first Second Doctor Adventures box set titled Beyond War Games. Raven is trying to help Celestian survive. Celestian expresses his desire to stay wherever he currently is. Raven says goodbye to Celestian. The Doctor asks for Jamie and Zoe's help. The Doctor believes something is attempting to manifest itself within the TARDIS. The Doctor explains the positives of the TARDIS being stuck to Zoe and Jamie. Jamie, the Doctor and Zoe discover that Raven is the one trying to enter the TARDIS. Raven is asking for the Doctor's help. The Doctor is delighted at Raven's terror. The Doctor communicates with Raven. Jamie and the Doctor work out how Raven has ended up in her current situation. Jamie suggests that they abandon Raven. Zoe theorises a way that Raven's time ring could be used to refuel the TARDIS. The Doctor chooses to let Raven join him, Zoe and Jamie, in the TARDIS. Raven expresses her appreciation to the Doctor. Zoe questions Raven's choice to ask for the Doctor's help. The Doctor's suggestion that joining him, Jamie and Zoe was Raven's only option is confirmed by Raven herself. The Doctor gives a task for Zoe and Jamie to complete. Raven agrees to help the Doctor reboot his TARDIS. Raven mentions a book being forbidden. The Doctor ignores this. Raven knows where the TARDIS is. The TARDIS has landed at the Vanishing Point, this episode's title. Raven questions the Doctor's actions. Zoe is attacked by something and calls out for the Doctor. We then have the part 2 title sequence, so we're halfway through the episode each. Jamie is electrocuted. Raven reminds the Doctor that he has stolen a forbidden book. The Doctor calls out for Zoe. Raven explains what the Vanishing Point is to the Doctor, Jamie and Zoe. The Doctor reminds Raven that on some planets the Time Lords are thought of as a myth. Anik and Aether experience something unusual. Jamie asks the Doctor about some symbols. Raven offers a suggestion to the Doctor. Raven questions the Doctor's decision to find the Vanishing Point. The Doctor continues to ignore Raven. Jamie asks the Doctor about Zoe's safety. The Doctor gives Raven an order. The Doctor compares Someone Ending the Universe to Drafts, the game. Not too getting cold. The Doctor convinces Raven to join him, Zoe and Jamie on their adventure towards the Vanishing Point. Zoe yells out for the Doctor's assistance. Jamie attempts to wake up Zoe. Jamie believes that Zoe is dead. Raven believes that the TARDIS is also dead. Jamie reminds the Doctor of Zoe's death. Raven reminds Jamie of the Doctor's methods. Jamie reminds the Doctor of their adventures with Ben, Polly, Victoria and Zoe, who are the other Second Doctor companions, apart from Jamie, obviously. Jamie opens up to the Doctor about how their reunion made him feel. Jamie lashes out at the Doctor. The Doctor apologises to Jamie. Raven refers to the Doctor's methods as luck. The TARDIS dematerialises. Zoe wakes up. Raven doesn't believe the Doctor's explanation of recent events. Anik reminds Aether that TARDISes are forbidden to land at the Vanishing Point. Anik believes that the Doctor's TARDIS will be ripped apart on its journey to the Vanishing Point. Zoe informs the Doctor that Jamie has disappeared. Raven refers to Jamie and Zoe as the Doctor's little helpers. The Doctor reminds Raven why he chose to let her travel in the TARDIS with him, Zoe and Jamie. The Doctor attempts to reassure Zoe about rescuing Jamie. The TARDIS has landed at the Vanishing Point. Raven explains the origins of the Vanishing Point to Zoe and the Doctor. The Doctor, Raven and Zoe explore the Vanishing Point. Zoe explains what getting arrested means to someone. This person warns to someone, this person warns Raven, Zoe and the Doctor to not return to the TARDIS. Zoe explains the forbidden book she was reading to this person. Aether introduces himself to Zoe, the Doctor and Raven. Aether introduces Raven, Zoe and the Doctor to Anak. Anak questions their decision to travel to the Vanishing Point. Some screaming occurs. The Doctor mentions the Kippers to Anak. Raven insults the Vanishing Point's technology. The Doctor apologises to Anak on Raven's behalf. The Doctor compares what he's currently seeing to a hologram. Raven, the Doctor and Zoe are witnessing the entire lifespan of the universe. Anak explains her species' relationship with the Vanishing Point. Zoe attempts to make sense of what she is seeing. Aether helps Zoe with this. Zoe hears a transmission from Jamie. Jamie explains his surroundings to Zoe. The Doctor attempts to create a plan on how to reveal the true people behind the Doctor's missions that were set by Raven. The Doctor is searching for a scientific component. The Doctor and Zoe reunite. Zoe tells the Doctor of her and Aether's recent encounter with Jamie. Zoe explains the Doctor's plan to Aether. The Kippers reappear. Anak shows her and Aether's startling results to Raven. Anak explains the life cycle of the universe to Raven. Raven is scared of the Doctor's theories being accurate. The Doctor issues tasks for Aether and Zoe to undertake. Zoe explains her earlier adventures with the Doctor and Jamie to Aether. Aether suggests an alternative method for the Doctor's plan. Aether explains his desire to travel within the universe to Zoe. Aether would love to join the Doctor, Jamie, Zoe and Raven in the TARDIS. Raven reunites with the Doctor. The Doctor speaks to Aether's tentacles. Zoe and Aether seem to be attacked by a Kipper. Anak is scared for Aether's safety. Jamie destroys the Kipper that attacked Aether and Zoe. Jamie disappears again. Aether says goodbye to Zoe and convinces her to reunite with the Doctor. Anak shows Raven and the Doctor all of the TARDIS's travels. Zoe informs Anak, the Doctor and Raven of the danger Aether is currently in. The Doctor apologises to Anak. Zoe reminds the Doctor of the Kipper he killed in a similar fashion to how Jamie killed another Kipper. Anak stands up to the Kippers. The Doctor and Raven witness a new planet being created. This planet that is replicating itself is Skaro, which is the home planet of the Daleks. That is my review of the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven, The Vanishing Point. We're now going to have a look at the behind the scenes interviews. Nick introduces himself. Mark also introduces himself. Mark mentions how this story connects to the first story in the first box set of the Second Doctor Adventures Beyond War Games. Mark and Nick talk about how they co-wrote The Vanishing Point. Nick mentions the scene where Jamie believes that Zoe is dead. Nick compares Zoe travelling with the Doctor and Jamie when she is older to being a parent. Michael introduces himself. Michael talks about his way of performing as the Second Doctor. Wendy introduces herself. Fraser also introduces himself. Fraser mentions how he played Jamie at different stages of his life. Wendy mentions Tales of the TARDIS. Michael mentions the scene where the Doctor yells at Jamie and Zoe. Fraser and Wendy talk about learning scripts. Michael talks about working with Fraser on the last box set, James Robert McCrimmon. Emma introduces herself. Emma mentions the power struggle between Raven and the Doctor. Callum introduces himself. Jacqueline also introduces herself. Now Jacqueline King, you may realise, plays Sylvia Nova on TV most recently in the 60th anniversary specials. Callum explains who Aether is. Jacqueline talks about working with Callum. Jacqueline explains who Anak is. Jacqueline mentions returning to Doctor Who for the 60th anniversary specials. Michael mentions how the Doctor's relationship with Raven has grown over the Second Doctor Adventures box sets. Jacqueline talks about the flexibility of audio roles. Nick mentions his previous Big Finish projects. Michael mentions his visit to the Doctor Who set. Nick reveals that he has started work on the next Second Doctor Adventures box set. That is all the behind the scenes interviews for the Second Doctor Adventures. Conspiracy of Raven, The Vanishing Point. But moving on to next time on the Everything Podcast, I'll be reviewing the Neighbours episode released on the 10th of July 2024. Here's the trailer.
Coming up on Neighbours.
Dad just flew in.
Bitch.
My ex-husband.
is in town.
So why is he here? What does he want?
Can't skip all the big stuff and then roll in here and act like a father.
You must be Haz's sister.
Thanks for holding the fort, but I'll take it from here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You in a mirror. I don't get what's wrong. What did I do?
You're not my boyfriend anymore.
Fine by me. Come in, fella.
This is Logan. Logan, this is Aaron. Aaron was married to David.
Melanie has told me all about him. I can't even imagine what you've been through after you lost your partner.
You want to make sure you make a good first impression.
Aren't you going to get in trouble for ditching school?
Your son is the bad influence here.
Your copy's on fire. I had to think the residents of Irene Rising will be the very first to try it tomorrow.
There's been another poisoning.
Welcome to the official opening of Irene Rising. Chin chin. What does that taste? Help! Help!
That was the newest trailer from Neighbours, which was released in May, but it's better than one that was released in September, so that's why I chose the most recent trailer, as I do with everything I speak about when I put trailers and previews for the next podcast episode. But back to this episode, let me know what your thoughts about the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven, The Vanishing Point, and now reviewed the entire box set, the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven as a whole. Put your thoughts on those in the comments below. And if you didn't listen to it, let me know what you thought about a review. Put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below, as well with anything else you want to cover the channel. So be a TV show or movie suggestions. So some of the ones that I will be doing at some point TV wise, we've got Fallout, The Boys Season 4, House of the Dragon. On the movie side, we've got The Fall Guy, Argyle, Hitman as well. Or it could be a book or comic. I haven't had any book suggestions yet, but I have had a comic suggestion of Avengers, 90s Marvel, so I'm going to be doing Avengers Forever comic series at some point. And yes, awesome news about your favourite TV show or movie, as I previously mentioned and will continue to mention for every episode until we get there. I am going to be talking about all the news that comes out of San Diego Comic Con and D23 2024. And yes, I remember. So put your thoughts, all of those, in the comments below as well. And remember, you can also like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.